Good evening, West Ham fans. Welcome to the Bobby Moore stand. And on the show tonight, headlines. Lots of headlines. West Ham in We've Got No Money. Shocker. West Ham have wasted 20 million just to piss everyone off. What comes to that? Fulkrug still deep in bratwurst and currywurst and steins of beer in his local beer keller back in Germany as he undergoes recovery. Simon Jordan dismisses any new owner would be interested in taking over little club West Ham. Fuck's sake. And worryingly, a Sullivan fed source news site, let's call it, is talking about how proudly how watertight the player contracts are were we to get relegated, in that they all get punitive reductions. Makes you feel hopeful, that, then it fills you with joy. First half of the show will be a little bit doom and gloom. A lot of stuff to chat about. We'll try and make it a bit more fun at the end, all right? Just lighten it up. Don't want to send you all away with heartburn. Before we go there, though, please like and subscribe and to the Bobby Moore stand. You know, we don't do this for money. We do it for love. We do it for love, don't we, Chris?
No, I'm doing it for the money, Gal. I'm doing it all for the money, mate. So, don't know about you, but, you know, raking it in right now. It's fantastic.
I know, that salary must be amazing.
Just,
right,
yeah.
Yeah. My earpieces for that. Anyway,
buy a new one of those then, Gal. Buy a new earpiece.
Buy a new fucking deluxe one. I will. How are you two anyway? Let's start with you for a change. Chris, how you doing?
I'm all right. Yeah, I just said to you just now, I kind of feel a little bit ill, I think, coming down with something, but I'm not going to let that drag me down tonight. As you said, I'm going to feel a lot more upbeat, you know, towards the end of this. So, yeah.
You're going to refill your tanks, Chris. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I'm relying on you guys tonight to cheer me up and to make me feel a bit better. So, yeah, I'm all right. How are you doing? You okay? You good?
Yeah, I'm
You're
all right.
West Ham up tonight with your shirt on, I can see.
Yeah, I felt quite good. That's because I spilled some dinner down my other shirt, basically. I've got to be honest. I've got this habit of, if I wear a light coloured shirt and I have something that's going to splash, I'll always get a bit right there. Every time.
Yeah, that's the rule. That's always the rule.
You need a bib, Gal. I will try and get you one for Christmas.
If you would.
I will try and get you a West Ham bib.
Yeah. And returning after his debut, his successful debut the other day. Pete, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you, mate. Thanks for having me on again. I know it was out of me and Ward Prowse, and we know how you feel about him, so you asked me to come back on.
He is available for podcasts at the moment, apparently. Yeah. All right. So let's go through the small bits of news before we do anything else. Okay. We've wasted 20 million quid, but what on? Failed managers, that's what on. And also a failed director of football. So if you include Stuyton, his entourage, Lopetegui and his enormous entourage, Potter and his, well, he had quite a big entourage, but we also paid $1 million for Kyle McCauley and then promptly sacked him. If you add all that up, that's 20 million quid that we burnt through in just, and you remember how long we had to wait to sign Diouf in the summer because we had to sell before we buy. Yeah, that's coming back as well, like Christmas. Bit of a waste of money, isn't it? What do you reckon? You can comment. You can comment.
Well, I'm here just to watch tonight. No, I'm joking. Yeah, look, it's just another example, isn't it, of how poorly the club is run. Not the team, how poorly the club is run by Sullivan and co. Because, you know, it is the thing, right? You look about, you know, £20 million that basically they're paying out to ex-managers, Lopetegui, Potter, you know, et cetera, and the backroom staff. Kyle McCauley, I think £1.5 million quid. It's just a joke. Like, it's just an absolute joke. But then it kind of, you think about that money that we've wasted on basically severance packages for those people, those West Ham employees. Why did we just not go out and be a little bit ambitious and get a proper fucking manager in that could actually grow and develop our club, rather than getting these stupid appointments that ultimately is going to cost us more than what it would have done to actually get a proper manager in, right? So this is the frustrating part for me, because it's just another example of, as I say, how poorly we run as a club, how we just hemorrhage money on these guys. What, 4 managers in, 18, 19 months?
Yeah.
It's just a catastrophe. It's a catastrophe.
Great leadership.
It was one of the things with Amarin that he wasn't prepared to pay the 8 to 10 million to get him. Now, obviously, in hindsight, we don't know whether that would have gone as well as it has at Man United. But if you're going to pay 20 million, just pay the compensation to get a decent manager.
Yeah, I think Amarim, it would have been a different experience for him here, if I'm being honest. I mean, he had a great record at Sporting. A lot of managers fail at Man United. I think they're going to give him time so he eventually succeeds. I don't think they're going to just fire him. But I think it's a completely different undertaking. I think there you had that big power problem in the dressing room, player power problem. And I think you had a similar thing here, but to a lesser degree. Potter tried to just completely sack everyone. That didn't work very well, did it? All senior players who had anything to say, he booted them out of the club pretty much, didn't he? Apart from Souček, who must be very quiet, very meek. Great tactic by Harry. Anyway, that's that story. Fulkrug, who's going to replace Fulkrug? Wilson or Callum?
I'll let you take this one, Pete. You know, limited options. Limited options, really. It's like a default option, isn't it?
He's gonna have to start with Callum Wilson for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the only other way you can do it is if the stadium's half empty, you could give the kid a go. But I think he'll go with Callum Wilson for 70 minutes. See whether he can play that role. Because if you're going to play Fulkrug and give him the chance to be his Chris Wood, you've definitely got to give Callum Wilson that chance as well.
He could play Bowen up front.
He could.
I was thinking the same thing, actually. I was thinking the same thing because everyone's automatically thinking, right, it's either going to be Callum Wilson or Marshall. But why wouldn't he go with Bowen up front and playing Guilherme on the right wing? Yeah. That is also a possibility. Wouldn't rule it out. I don't want that to happen. I've got to be honest, because I want to see Bowen playing in on the right. That's his best position, and he's proven to be a lot more effective there. But that could be an option. Yeah, it could be an option. And look, if you look at it this way, right? So you've got Callum Marshall, Callum Wilson as our only fit strikers at this moment in time. Between now and the start of the January transfer window, we've got around about, I think, 12 or 13 games. So you can pretty much put your house on the fact that we will get some more injuries. Okay, we will do, because it's such a congested fixture list, during the whole Christmas period. So with that in mind, you can well imagine that actually Bowen will be playing up front for a spell of games, because I don't see Callum Wilson staying fit for the rest of this season. I can't see it happening.
He's not getting a game, and he's having to live off scrape by on $5,000 a week, which with his outgoings, I imagine they're pretty substantial. He must be making a huge loss every week, mustn't he?
He's tough. Together, shouldn't he?
Yeah. Life is tough. Life is bleak.
He won't play. Nuno won't play Paqueta, will he, in a false nine? He's not going to try that.
I hope he doesn't. It doesn't work. It's proven it doesn't work, hasn't it? So what would you do, Gal? I mean, who would you play? Would you play Wilson or Marshall?
I'll play Wilson for sure. I think it only lasts 60 minutes, 60 minutes. I mean, he's not really a Premier League starter anymore. And we don't really want him to try and play a whole 90 and get injured. That's when he will get injured, isn't it?
Yeah, he can only play for a spell. I was actually talking to Danny just now. He's in the chase, and he won't play Wilson. Sullivan won't want to pay his appearance money. But the thing is, he'd probably play anyway, regardless, right? Even if he comes on as a sub, he's going to make an appearance. You can't rely on Callum Marshall to play a full 90 minutes. That's not going to happen. How long Fulkrug out for as well? We're talking maybe a couple of months minimum.
It's a month, 5 weeks, wasn't
it? Yeah. I just wonder whether Potter was always giving Callum Wilson a 10 minutes off the bench or something just to piss Sullivan off. I wonder.
Well, if he did, fair play to him,
Yeah.
Why not?
There's 90 grand running onto the pitch now.
Yeah. He's losing his shit, wasn't he, at that point? But no, I think, going back to your question, Callum Wilson, I think, has to start. He's the experience of the two. I think it's quite a big ask to put Callum Marshall in for these games. That being said, of course, I would like to see him start some games, but I wouldn't necessarily like to see him start against Brentford. That would be a bit much, in the sense that it's a big game for us. First home game for Nuno. Obviously, we know the situation with regards to the boycott. It could get a bit toxic if we end up losing that game as well. And that's not necessarily a good game to introduce a youngster into. So I don't know whether it'd be the right game for him to come into and start. But I would like to see him start some games. Just offer us something a little bit different.
The crowd are going to be even further away than they usually are. No pressure.
You say that, but the concern is that people will move towards the empty seats. And and if I'm being honest with you, if I was at that stadium, I'd probably do the same thing myself as well. If there was empty seats or in the front, of course you're going to walk down there, aren't you?
We must get that message out though, to try.
Yeah, the stewards ain't going to stop people. They'll probably be under instruction to move people closer, to be fair, so it doesn't look that bad on TV.
Probably.
Yeah. Or they'd put mannequins in the seats, wouldn't they, as well? Wouldn't put that past them either.
Yeah. All got
just to make it look a bit
space on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be. We'll come to that after anyway. And also, there's been some fixture changes just for maximum inconvenience. Man United's been moved to a Thursday night at 8 o'clock, 4th of December. Brighton is a Sunday afternoon at 2 p.m. So you get back on Friday morning, and then you got to leave early on the Sunday. Then you've got Aston Villa, which is at home on a Sunday now because of their European things, exploits, and then Man City, game that we always bloody lose, 3 o'clock Saturday, the 20th of December. Sky have promised to ruin your Christmas in the next few days. Just that's when they'll announce it. They'll probably let you make your Christmas plans first, then they'll announce it. All right, just so as you know. Oh, where's Pete gone?
I don't know. He's just. I think he's fallen out the bottom, and he's had enough. He's had enough.
Yeah,
he's had enough.
He's stormed out. It's his broadband. His broadband's gone. Right. Okay. So look, big story. This is a big story. We have no money. Kel surprise. Right. We sort of knew that. And for those of you that were watching the shows earlier in the season when we were trying to sell Caduce, we did go through the fact that we needed to pay some money back. We had to pay off an overdraft by a certain date, and I think everybody knew about that. And that money for Caduce, it went to paying the overdraft off. Believe it or not, we lack cash flow. We're in a perilous position unless we brought the money in for Caduce, and that's why I think we've been accepting all of these relatively bad deals because we've had to. So let's look at what's happened this week, and this is worrying because it was reported by the owner, obviously for his ring piece or mouthpiece earlier in the week, who said we must sell before we buy in January. So that's the first thing, right? Next story comes out almost immediately about Paqueta being sold in January potentially. Multiple sources, similar sources. Then we hear from Nuno that he's set expectations with Jorge Mendes around player signings in January, i.e. he expects some player signings in January. So those three things don't go together. And then, so you've got Sullivan saying, oh, we've got no money, same as he did last window, obviously thinking of leaving it very, very, very late and grabbing a few Sullivan specials right at the end. And you've got Nuno expecting to get players early so that he can help the team stay up.
Look, surely this would have been discussed prior to Nuno joining. I can't believe that wouldn't be. It's like suddenly Nuno's going to get surprised that we're not going to be able to sign anyone. There must have been a discussion around transfers and what would be available. There must have been, Gal.
But Sean Whetstone today put out a big long article about how we've got no money and backing it up with some facts around overdrafts and debts, right? Won't bore you with it because, to be honest, you've got to read it a few times before it makes any form of sense. But essentially, he's saying the club's in a lot of debt, which we sort of knew already, because this is the way it's been. Why do we have no money, right? Oh, here's Pete. He's back again.
Yeah, no, we're Skint. We know we're Skint. And I think Nuno knows we're Skint as well, Gal. I don't think he's under any false illusions thinking that he's got like some massive transfer kitty to spend in January. I don't think he has.
No, not a massive transfer kitty, but he's going to have to sell in order to fund his purchases. So I suppose it's a case of, can they find a buyer quickly for Paqueta? That's what's sort of happening.
Well, that's literally it, though, then, isn't it? Because what other sellable assets do we have at West Ham? Honestly, there aren't any. I can't think of any.
None that we can afford to lose because we've sold them all already.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what we're saying. I mean, Paqueta, possibly. But again, you lose Paqueta. For me, I mean, yes, I know he's not been on form for the last few games or whatever, but losing him, like, it's one of our first 11 players, right? We want to be getting rid of our fringe players, but our fringe players aren't worth shit. So that's the worry there, right? I mean, you look at who we could possibly sell. You've got Guido Rodriguez. You'd be lucky if you get £5 million for him. James Ward-Prowse, again, you're going to be lucky if you get £5 million for him because his transfer value is completely plummeted as a result of the fact that he can't even get on our bench. I don't know who else we could sell. Like, I don't know. Jude, can you think of anyone else, Pete, in our squad that is worth anything that anyone would want?
Oh, obviously, do you from people like that, but you don't want to sell the people you just bought. We need them.
Well, exactly. No. So who is there? It's Paqueta or no one. Because, put it this way, if you sell Guido Rodriguez or you sell James Ward-Prowse, that's not freeing up enough money to go out and buy decent players, is it? You can't get nothing. You can't get anything for £5-6 million nowadays. You can't.
You're not going to sell Rodriguez
and do a permanent deal, do you think?
So
that's a possibility. Yeah.
Could they recall Alvarez and then try and offload him for a decent wedge?
Is he playing? Because he got injured, didn't he?
Oh, did he?
He got injured like first game.
I don't know. I'm not following him, to be brutally honest with you. As soon as they're out the door at West Ham, they're done to me. So I know he's on loan, but regardless, I mean, he's still worth, got to be worth at least 20 odd million, isn't he? But who's going to want to stop up that cash for him now? like in January, particularly if he's injured as well, as you say, Gal.
Yeah, well, it was a dodgy, strange deal because Mourinho did it. He did the deal, and then immediately left. So and then he got injured first game, and they got dumped out of the Champions League, which is why he went there. Not the luckiest bloke, is he?
No. He's not. But I just don't see where we're going to get this cash from, Gal. I can't. I personally think that
it backs up the backroom staff thing, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, it definitely does. And realistically, what we're going to do, we'll probably end up getting loans. That's all I can see us getting.
There we go. Loans. Alvarez didn't have a recall option, so another great deal done by West Ham. Well done. Bowen, we're not selling Bowen, Mark. Don't be silly. Bowen ain't a money-making option. Bowen is without him, we're definitely going down.
Oh yeah. That's not even in my.
It'd be suicide, wouldn't it?
Of course it would be. I mean, there'd be complete mutiny if he left West Ham, wouldn't there? Can you imagine?
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, Paqueta 30 to 40, that's about right, Randy. But no. Honestly, the only way I would consider selling Bowen is if Bowen said he wanted to leave.
Well, let's tally this up, right? So we've thrown a few names out there. Let's work out realistically who we possibly could sell and what their value would be. And then it kind of gives a rough indication of potentially what kind of money that we might have, bearing in mind that we're skint at the moment. So we're saying, right, let's have
millions for JWP,
you get 5 million from James Wolf. I think it'll be a loan. I think they'll loan him, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Oh, God. How long's he got left on his contract? Another 2 years?
He must do. He must have at least a couple, I would say. All right. So let's say, for instance, there's an obligation to buy him.
Here's one. Souček to Everton.
Yeah, that's one. That is one. What are we saying for him? About 15, 20 million quid now?
At least 15, closer to 20. I would say 20 because he's valuable to Moyes.
Yeah, but Moyes will also know that we're fucking desperate, so he won't necessarily need to go to £20 million, and that's the problem now. Is when you publicly put it out there that we're skint and we need to sell players to actually buy players, we're not at the wrong end of fucking negotiations, aren't we? Basically,
I think Souček's worth more than 10 to 15. I think he was worth closer to 25 on his form last season because he's still getting a lot of goals. It's basically 8 to 10 goals a season you're selling there. You don't sell that for.
Remember though, Gary, what we value them at, and then what West Ham sell them for. We've always said we undersell them, right? So you could be talking 12 mil for him.
Be 5 mil. Wouldn't it? Be 5 mil. Fulkrug, 5 million.
Sorry, on that point, Fulkrug, right? 5 million quid, maybe. But who in their right mind is going to buy and sign Nicholas Fulkrug right now? The geezer has proven to be injury prone. No one's going to want to sign him. Come on, he's out for the best part of maybe possibly up to 2 months, from what I understand.
There's a lot of French interest for him because you got to remember, mind you, he's not proven in the Premier League at all. I mean, he's been a disaster, really. Irving is one. So I think you'd get 10 million for Fulkrug off some French club.
No way. No, what's
the German teams have come for him. I think 5 mil is probably about right. And then
5 mil, yeah. So that is what did we pay for him? I mean, it was rumoured to be 25, but it wasn't. It was about 18, 19 we paid for him.
Yeah, I think it was about 19, mate. Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't. You're not going to get 10 million
for Souček if you're lucky, says Danny. Yeah, I haven't got such a downer on Souček, to be honest. I think he's served his time. It's time for him to go. We'll see if what Nuno's intent is, right? If he plays him, because he's back from his suspension next game, isn't he? Will he suddenly be in the team again?
No.
I wonder.
No. He won't be. I can't see how he does.
No.
I just don't really see it, mate. Unless he's going to do that option that you just said just now in terms of playing, I don't know, Paqueta further forward as a kind of false nine, and then he's going to maybe slot him into the team that way. But I just don't see how we can put him in. I think our midfield looks. I think our midfielders look better recently. Yeah, I think it would be a little bit silly. I think he's trying to get a bit of a stable team as well, so they get used to playing this style of football, getting used to playing with each other. Obviously Fernandes, Magassa playing in the middle of the park with each other as well. Potsy getting introduced. I just think that for me, Souček is an impact sub. Now, that's the way I would use him, unless there's an injury crisis.
He should have been like that for the last few seasons. He does have a start in the team against maybe the lower sides, maybe a Burnley or something like that. He's got a start in him for that one, I think.
Yeah, he serves a purpose for certain games, basically.
Yeah,
he does. But then go back to what I was saying, Gal, in terms of what kind of transfer funds we would have based on who we would sell. So let's say hypothetically, right, 15 million for Souček, right? That's one. Realistically, we're not going to sell Paqueta in January, are we? We're not going to sell him in January. He's going to stay until the end of the season. So Souček really then is our only really valuable player that we can get a half decent sum for. There's no one else.
No, it's him, Paqueta.
No, but we're ruling Paqueta out by default of the fact that he's going to stay till the end of the season. I don't think we're going to sell him in January, Gal. I can't see it happening.
I think we will. I think we will. I think we would have sold him in the summer. No matter what they said about he's not for sale. In the
summer, in the summer. I'm talking about in January. I don't think we're going to let him go in January. Is what I'm saying. I don't see that. So who are we going to let go in January?
If it all kicks off, which it will, between Mendes and Nuno and Sullivan, they will flog Paqueta. I'm telling you. They'll basically give what they're doing at the moment. The way I see it is they're giving Nuno a difficult decision to make. All right, what bad, what pill do you want to take? It's like a really bad one.
But if you take, let's say you mentioned £40 million, right, for Paqueta, are we going to be able to bring in good enough replacements for Paqueta for 40 million quid? Bearing in mind, we're not going to be looking for just one player. We're going to be looking for a few because we need a few. We need a striker. We need probably another central midfielder. We need a centre back. There's other key positions within that team that we need to basically fill. So what are you going to do?
Is there still a market for him? Is there still a market for Todibo in France?
Fucking 18. We paid £35 million for him at the beginning of the season. I mean, that is ridiculous, right? But that's actually probably a fair reflection of what his real value is. Maybe even less than that. But how crazy is it that we spent that much money on him? Again, another example of how poorly run our football club is. 35 million for Todibo.
Guilherme?
No, I don't know. 15 million. I mean, again, his value's probably gone down, if anything, because he's not really shown. He hasn't got any game time, really, has he, for West Ham?
No, he hasn't, and he's not impressed in a while either. So, but this is just, and it kind of, I agree with what Mark says here. It's such an embarrassing mess created by Sullivan that we're even having this fucking conversation in the first place, right?
I know,
but let's go back to the main topic, which is why do we have no money? It's a really simple theory. It's not a theory, it's fact, and that is, we spoke about they've remortgaged everything up to the hilt. They've got an overdraft. They've got a big loan. I think the mortgages are with loan sharks who nearly sent Everton to an early death. But in summary, we've been living for several years now, several seasons, living off future income. So actually spending tomorrow's money today. And when you do that, it relies on stability, continued stability. If you suddenly have to extend yourself, like rebuilding a squad 3 times, then suddenly you just start accruing debt and accruing debt and accruing debt to the point where you run out of money and you've got to sell. You've got to sell players. And that's what we've done. It's terrible, terrible financial management. And it puts you in a weak position when you are selling. So you end up selling them cheap. That's been proven as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, that's exactly what we have been doing.
Yeah.
And we will continue to do that in January because, as I said just now, clubs know that we're desperate. They do.
Yeah.
Of the players we bought in the summer, what I'm quite interested to know is that the ones that we let go were some of the high earners that had run down their contracts. And we were talking about potentially saving something like between $500,000 and $1 million a week in wages.
Yes.
The players we bought in are not on those insane
nowhere
wages.
Nowhere near.
So again, where's that money going?
I don't know. I mean, you look at Diouf, he'd be earning bugger all. Fernandez would be on a decent wage, I would imagine, 80k a week. Diouf would be on about 40 or 50. Magassa will be on bugger all, probably 30, 40. Kilman, so how can you call that bugger all, Gary? Kilman, he's earning a fortune.
Hermansen can't be on that much of a big wage either, to be fair.
Well, let's hope not.
60, 70. I mean, it's a decent wage, but what I'm talking is the sort of Danny Ings money that we were paying previously. We're not paying players that anymore.
Well, James Ward-Prowse is on 125 grand a week. I think he's our second or possibly third highest earner, which is just a joke in itself, right?
Yeah.
So I want your opinion on this, you two, and that is, this is my own little conspiracy theory, and I don't know, and you guys in the audience as well. What do you think? I've kind of touched on it before, but I think I've got more clues to link together now. So there's been, as we've already discussed, really, really terrible mismanagement of transfers, paying too much for not good players, putting them on long wages, and also when you sell a player, selling them for bugger all, and rarely make a profit. I think we've done it about 3 times. I think it's twice on players that we've traded. which is scandalous, really. So to me, that starts to feel deliberate after a while. It starts to feel like there are other reasons for doing these deals other than, trying to sign a good player. I doubt very much a lot of these deals that we signed, Danny Ings for 3 years on 125 grand a week for 15 million, James Ward-Prowse for 30 million, I think on a 4-year deal, 120, 130 grand a week. Those two signings alone, I'm telling you now, there ain't another team in the Premier League who would touch those signings. So why the hell did we, right? So that's sort of a bit of evidence to support it. When you start, and where I'm going with this is, I think it's turned into potentially a bit of an asset strip, because we've got no stadium. We've got the training grounds are mortgaged up to the hilt. We don't own any land, right, at all. We own loan sharks. We're heavily in debt with overdrafts. We have got these watertight relegation clauses, which will immediately piss off every single player in the squad and help them demand to leave. When we get relegated, or if we get relegated, it'll be a strip-down job. Bye-bye, Jared, Somerville, Diouf, Fernandez, Magassa, Kilman, Mavropanos, even, Fulkrug, AWB, any bright young kids we got out the door, and the excuse will be, well, what do you expect me to do? We got relegated, got to cut our cloth accordingly. And all that money will just go into paying off debts. And before you know it, you're a struggling championship side playing in front of a fucking great big stadium in front of about 25,000.
Anything positive? Anything positive, Gal, today? Or
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that is my conspiracy theory. But sadly, all the elements seem to be pointing towards it. What do you think? Do you think it's possible or likely? Or
yeah, I do. I think it's very possible what you've just said. I mean, it really is. I mean, you can look at this objectively, not even as a West Ham fan. You can look at what we've been doing as a club, and it's seriously worrying. I mean, it is. I mean, asset stripping is probably the best way of putting it, because I just don't know. This squad is not good enough to stay in the Premier League, right? It's proven at the moment. It's not. Look where we are in the league. Yes, all right, Potter, whatever. Right? But we just don't have a good enough squad, in my opinion. We need to bring in a number of new players. But before we can even do that, we're talking about trying to sell some of our better players, which is it's such a precarious situation to be in. It really, really is. So for me, it's massively concerning. Whatever happens, right? Whatever happens in January in terms of incomings and outgoings or whatever, we need to get this spot on. This needs to be one of the best transfer windows we've had. Not in terms of signing the best players.
They won't.
I know.
Sign in panic in the last week of the window, which again feeds the conspiracy that he's trying to fuck it up, like he deliberately fucked up summer.
I don't know. I mean, I guess only time will tell, Gal. Only time will tell in terms of what we do in the transfer window and what players are available and everything else. But you can be sure that anyone good isn't available, apparently, according to Sullivan. We tried, all that usual nonsense. Like I said before, my personal opinion is I think predominantly most of the people that we do bring in will be loans. And I know we are only permitted to bring in a certain number of loans as well. And anyone else, we're gonna have to sell. We're gonna have to sell.
We need a Hartson and Kitson style signing. That's what we need. We need a window where we sign people that are just going to bang in goals.
That was equivalent to when we signed Jared and Thomas Souček in the January. They were saviours, right? Hartson and Kitson were saviours as well. You've got to identify 2 or 3 really big players like that, in my opinion. You've got to do the fucking work before the window opens to get them ready. And then you've got to do the deals, hand that stuff to the manager and say, get on with it. If that does not happen, then what are you going to read into it, Pete?
I mean, it's got relegation written all over it, I'm afraid.
I know.
If you've got Fulkrug who's not firing, probably doesn't want to be there anyway. It's not good, is it? I don't want to be completely derailed from this Nuno train because I'm hoping that is a positive step in my eyes.
It is.
I've seen these little shoots that he's made those changes in midfield. We are starting to click a little bit with those midfielders. Diouf is a positive I'm taking from this season. I think there's only 2 players in the Premier League that have got more assists than him.
He's amazing.
I'm having that. Somerville's back. Yes, I'm all over that. Whether he plays Bowen up there or not, Guilherme getting a bit of game time. I want to see I just want to see some effort from the players. As I said on the last show that I was on with you guys, the thing that pissed me off the most about the Chelsea result was that it just didn't seem that they cared. There wasn't even a booking or a challenge put in, and we're getting spanked at home. Not impressed with that. Not impressed with that at all.
But I'll tell you what, all this depression, I'll tell you what we should do as a fan base. We should have a protest or something, shouldn't we? That's a bit of luck, isn't it? So protest plans are going well. I'm speaking daily, or I am in daily with some key people in Hammers United. It's impressive what they're doing. Let me tell you, very, very impressive. I can't talk about a lot of it, and I won't. But let me just say, the team that are running it, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. This is not.
Did they send a letter to Nuno, Gary, as well?
Yes, they did. They and the beautiful thing is, the media now seems to be completely on side. I mean, when have you heard that letter to Nuno went out? An open letter to Nuno went out. Henry Winter retweeted it almost immediately.
Right.
The media, the ones who have historically, traditionally been digging us out, not anymore. Not anymore. They're on board. They kind of know what's happening. They get it. And we know that they're on the defensive, the club, which is why they opened that community centre today. The what's it called? The not the Forge, is it? Can't remember. I think it is the Forge. Something like that. Yeah. But that was done, literally to give some, to show what a good community club they are and all that sort of stuff in the week that's coming up. Anything PR, they've rushed that out. They've also been, as we know, trying to sell the tickets, blah, 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 blah. But look, I've got total confidence that this mission is going to be accomplished. And you know me, I scrutinise things quite a lot. I do look at the detail. I wouldn't be following this if I didn't believe in the people who are running it. And I genuinely do believe in them. I think we're going to be successful. I know we're going to be successful. And if you want to be, I know you might want to go to the game, but I just had to today ungive 2 tickets to the Brentford game to a friend of mine. I had to tell him, thank you for joining the protest. You're no longer going to the Brentford game. Right. So that's 4 season tickets empty. We've got 2 with Pete, we've got 2 with Chris, we've got 2 with Martin. That's 10 seats empty. So join us on this crusade. This crusade to empty that stadium out on Monday. Now they can try every tactic in the book. It doesn't matter. They'll know the truth. People who are in the ground will know the truth. So it's one game of football. It's costing me 280 quid. I don't know how much it's going to cost you. It's costing everyone who's a season ticket holder money, but it's money you've spent already. And what you want to do, if you believe in getting rid of David Sullivan and Karen Brady like we do, whether you believe it's possible or not, if you want to do that, I believe this is going to work. Take part in the protests whenever you can. Take part in the boycott, because when it does work, you want to look back on it and say, I was part of that. I helped.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still on board with this. Charlie's saying here we should all dress as clowns. 100%.
Yes.
That I'd be really proud
That's
of.
coming.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So that is something that who put that up first of all? It was the other week. Usually watches, regular viewer.
I can't remember. It was a cracking idea.
Rex. It was Rex. It was his idea. And we're definitely going to do it. Might have a practice for the Saturday show. Might dress up as clowns.
All with Russian hats as well, though, right?
Yeah. I've got a Russian hat. I got one of Sullivan's Russian hats, not issued by Sullivan. I love it because I tell you what, and I like it's one of those ideas, Pete, where you say you can't get people to dress up as clowns because not everyone's going to do it. You don't need everyone. All you'd need was like 40 or 50 clowns going to the ground together, right? Meeting point for clowns just on the outside of the bridge, right? If you're dressed as a clown, all going together. Just imagine the videos and the photos from that. It'd be fucking priceless. Absolutely priceless.
It would be, yeah. And you know what? It put a smile on people's faces as well for all the shit they were going through.
How much would it backfire if they tried to ban clown costumes and then a clown got really out of hand? An argument with a clown got really out of hand. You know what I mean?
They can't do that, Gal. That's clown fascism, mate. We're not allowing that, right?
It is.
There's a lot of people out there mate, there's people out there that identify themselves as dogs, as cats.
I'm a clown.
If you identify, exactly. We all know you're a clown, Gal. But if you identify as a clown, then you're a clown. There's nothing wrong with it. Going to the stadium loud and proud.
In the stadium, wouldn't they, as well?
What's that?
They'd have to stop Fulker again in the stadium as well.
God.
Mark, don't you worry, the ground won't look empty. It's all about, we're going to have people in the ground to report the facts of what's happening. If they do happen to get the stewards to move everyone down the front, so it looks quite full on the TV, what can you do? But we've done all we can. It will hurt them in the pocket, and I'll tell you why it'll hurt them in the pocket, because all of those tickets, this is brilliant. This is so brilliant, right? Say you buy my ticket off of me in the Bobby Moore lower, my tickets, right? And they have to pay you the amount that they would pay you for that band of tickets. So for Brentford, let's say for argument's sake, it's 25 quid, 30 quid in Monopoly money. Then they're selling it for 15 quid. They're making a £10 loss on that ticket. They're doing that, and they're making a bigger loss on the other tickets, right? They're selling band A, band B for things like 15 quid, right? They're willing to make a loss to spunk money up the wall to try and fuck their own fans. Tells you all you need to know about them, really, doesn't it?
I know enough about them already to have an opinion, girl, as we all do. So
yes, but that is enough misery. We're 40 minutes in. Let's brighten up the mood a bit now.
Have you got your clown outfit with you, girl? You're going to put it on?
Let's go through some comments. They'll cheer us up.
All right. Well, yeah, I'll start some, but they're actually probably going back to the earlier negativity. But I'm going to put it up anyway because it should be addressed, right?
Yeah,
so, WHU saying what you say, and Sully Brady out, as we need to keep up the protesters stand firm and united as one. We can't let them push us around and take us for mugs anymore. Enough is enough. 100%. I agree with you. He's also saying, I'll be coming to the game to protest. I'll have my dog with me. Well, apparently Sullivan is also going to have his dog with him as well. So
I wish I could tell
you won't be the only one.
I wish I could tell you what's planned for that Burnley protest, but you've got to be there. You won't want to miss it. I'm telling you, you will not want to miss it. And don't worry if you can't walk a long way, because it's going to be a very slow, gentle amble from Stratford Station meeting point all the way down to the director's entrance. But you won't want to miss it. I promise you. Yeah, very friendly there.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it, mate. I actually am probably looking forward to it more than I am the game, in truth, right? Because it's a collective of, West Ham United supporters that have all got one thing in common. We all love West Ham. We all want the ball out. So I'm looking forward to that. What's Trudge saying? Disgrace, we're in this position, prone on youth to come good. Yeah, it is 100%. It is a disgrace, really. We're talking about Marshall as our option playing up front.
Yeah.
Worrying. Well, I mean, to put that kind of pressure on a kid, I mean, again,
teams that can't score goals go down, don't they? Typically in the Premier League. I mean, that's like records.
Unless you've got the midfield heavily chipping in, yeah.
So it's kind of almost guaranteed that we knew that Fulkrug weren't going to do anything, and he's almost bought a guaranteed failure in Callum Wilson. Nothing against Callum Wilson. Have to do that disclaimer every time because he ain't been injured yet. Odds are he will be though. I won't need much makeup. That's unkind.
Do you know the funny thing about these? I never started that comment. You must have started that, which is quite interesting. Did you do that by mistake, or did you actually think, no, he's got a point here, Jason? Yeah.
My mistake.
Claire, you're right, Claire. Got called a bin and see you next Tuesday yesterday for supporting the boycott and the protest. Unfortunately for those individuals, I went back down. So do you know, like, I will say one thing, right? One thing that does annoy me about this is that it's this kind of stupid divide when really we all need to be united, because the one thing that we all have in common here is that we all are West Ham United supporters, right? That's the one thing we've got in common. So we just need to respect the fact that if you want to boycott. We know what we're going to do with boycotting. If you're not going to do it, and for whatever reason you're going to the game, perhaps it's because you don't get to go quite often, or perhaps it's because I don't know, it's more affordable, whatever it is. Look, I respect you, you respect us. And I just think as fans, we need to be respectful of each other rather than digging each other out. That's what I don't like about this whole
This is why I haven't been much on Twitter this last week. That place pisses me off still. Even though I'm new back on it, it just pisses me off. There's so many people who seem to be on there just to make themselves heard. They just want to be contrary to, they want to be contrarian and take the opposite view to the masses, just so as people will dig them out. And I think that makes them a little bit infamous. Don't know. Some of them are just so out of order as well. You know they wouldn't say that shit to your face. Yeah. But what that geezer said to Claire, she's double hard, Claire. You ain't saying it to her face.
She won't take shit from anyone. Definitely won't do. Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, but that's the problem, right? I mean, you get a lot of these keyboard warriors, and they just kind of put all this stuff out there on the internet, on Facebook groups, and this, that, and the other. But they would say boo to a goose if they saw you in the face. They wouldn't do that.
Black Country's coming down. We're gonna meet you, Black Country. We hang around in a cluster. You can't miss us.
Well, we'll all be dressed as well. No, you'll be dressed as a clown, so you definitely won't be able to miss Gal.
Yeah. Oh, great minds. Brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Cluster of clowns. Oh, dearie me.
Right. Anyway, let's ask you a question. You had a secret. So ideas for questions. What we want to do is brighten it up. We've got loads of people in the chat. Give us an idea of a question you want to answer. You want everyone to answer. Because I asked, Chris has got a cold. Pete's having broadband problems. Pete's suggestion was, what's your favourite Callum Wilson goal against West Ham?
The one with his hand. The one with his hand, no? Surely that would be it.
Be the one.
Yeah.
The other one, which could be, is how many points do the listeners think we're going to get from the next 5, which are classed as more winnable under Nuno? How many points do we think we're going to get from those 5 games?
Let's recount those games, right? We've got Brentford, Burnley, Newcastle,
Leeds away.
Let's look at the fixture list, Gal. Let me just stick it up quickly. This might be slightly. This is slightly different, right? I think it's changed a little bit, hasn't it, in terms of the dates and maybe the times.
I don't think the order has, is it?
No, I don't think so. So we've got Brentford, Leeds.
Yeah, the games are absolutely right. Yeah.
Okay, so Brentford, Leeds, Newcastle, Burnley, and Bournemouth. Yeah, so they're the 5 that you're referring to.
Yes.
So I think we kind of touched on this the other day, didn't we, Gal? I think in terms of what we thought we might accumulate.
I went for 7, didn't I?
But we were talking about how many points we'd accumulate by the end of December when you look at that massive congestion of fixtures.
Oh, that's
and when we worked that one out, it was basically bang on relegation. It pretty much was, wasn't it? It's awful to say it, but it was. But yeah, I think that's probably the right thing to do. Is you've got to break this down into segments, right? So let's look at the next. Did you say next 5 games, Pete? Yeah.
Next 5 games, so down to Bournemouth. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, for me, like Brentford,
win.
That's a win.
I love the confidence. I'm going to be a little bit kind of more cautious on that. I'm going to say a point. I think Leeds United away. I'm going to probably say a point. I'm just going to go through mine quickly, right? So that's 2.
That's 2 wins.
Newcastle at home. I didn't say, but I never said wins. I said a point. Hold up a minute. Newcastle loss. Burnley at home.
Win.
I see that as a win, right? So I'm looking at probably. Oh, and Bournemouth away. That's a tough one. Lose that. So I'm looking at 1, 2. I'm looking at 5 points over the next 5 games. What about you, fellas?
I've gone from 7 to 10 now.
Gal, come on. Gal, you know what how can you say 10 points out of that? Come on.
How can I not say 10 points out of that? I mean, fucking hell,
I'll go 9. I'll go 9.
Do you need more? Do you need?
I love it with me.
Fucking hell.
Welcome,
honestly,
bullshit optimism.
I think we'll lose to Newcastle and we'll lose to Bournemouth, but I think we're beating Brentford, Leeds, and Burnley.
Yeah, I think we're winning those 3 without a shadow of a doubt. I'm more confident I've ever been, Chris.
All right, what's the chat saying? Because I'm intrigued to see what the chat's saying around this as well.
I'm not taking the drugs, Tony. No drugs here, mate.
What's everyone else saying? Right, okay, so 3 draws, 2 losses, 3 points. That's worse than my 5. That's an agreement. 5 in 5, 5 points in 5. Mike's going for 7 points.
I in the 7, you say? Go on.
Gal, get off the gear. Apparently from Tony. Black Country 5 points if we're lucky. Look, what's this? Lose, draw. So what's that? That's 2 points from John McCarthy.
What is it? 12 there. We've got somebody that's trumped Gary.
12?
Is it 12 points for 5? I
can Johnny Noodles 91. You are a winner.
Christ, honestly.
Yeah, top comment of the night, that is.
Yeah, home dinners can't see us win us at Leeds. That's gonna be a tough game. That is Leeds United away. That will be a tough one.
But we've got a good
Callum Wilson scoring in 5 consecutive games. Let's have it. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm loving the enthusiasm. I'm loving it. It's just
got to be optimistic, ain't you? Got to be.
I've always been optimistic, Gal, but that optimism has just been kind of like it's been drained out of me over the last couple of years.
Chris, this is what they do in the army. They break you down and they build you up again, right? That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing now.
Right, so Kat's now saying, right, okay, wow, you are positive. I think now 5 to 7. You just said 5 points. Now you're saying 7 points. Kat, it's growing. It's growing.
Motivated. See? What about you, Chris? Do you want to revise?
No. I'm going for 5 points because I'm realistic, Gary.
Don't be proud, Chris. Don't be proud.
No, I'm realistic. Mate.
Yeah. All right.
Look how many points we've got so far. Yeah, we've got and we've got Callum Wilson as our main striker, and we've got Marshall as a backup. Right, we've got loads of games coming up, during the course of the. All right, forget. I know I said we'll look at it in segments, but the next 5 games, I know you could look at it on paper and say, well, at Leeds United, Burnley, we should be beating those teams. But Leeds away is not going to be an easy game at all. Under the lights at Ellen Road on a Friday night, that is going to be a tough game for us.
Here's a question for you. Be honest. How many? And I know how many I've got right because it's on that for analysis thing, right? Where I have to put my predictions in. How many predictions, results, not scores, how many predictions have you got right this season so far?
How many predictions have I got right? Quite a few, actually, because I predicted quite a lot of losses.
Oh, that's an easy chart. That's the easy way out, though, isn't it?
No,
I'm not an optimistic predictor.
No. I'm a realistic predictor, right? So I'm not going to go out. Last season, I was stupid so much. Right? Oh, yeah, 3-1, right? Never got it right once. But now I am being very much realistic, and I pretty much called most of our losses this season.
All right. So Sunderland away, did you think we'd lose that?
No, I didn't. I didn't think we were going to lose that one. No.
Me neither. Everton.
I thought we were going to draw it.
Everton away. I thought we'd win that. Actually,
I said that was going to be 2-2, so I did actually predict a point. I got that one right as well.
Yeah, I might have predicted a draw for that as well. I can't remember. I have to look. What's the other one? I predicted we'd lose to Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
I predicted we'd beat Tottenham because we've got to beat. I'm not going to predict we're losing to Tottenham. What did you do? What did you do for that? Did you predict wins for every game like me?
Wins for every game. I don't think anyone in the country done that, apart from you.
The loss at home to Chelsea. That's the only one I predicted. I predicted a draw against Arsenal.
These next 5 games, whoever's the furthest away from the points has to wear a James Ward-Prowse shirt on the next live.
But that's it. I've got a James Ward-Prowse shirt. I've got one. So I said this the other day. So it's almost like you're predicting that I'm going to get it. I'm going to be the one with the least amount of points.
Well,
I'm just wondering if it's
that
shirt. Go on.
Hold up a minute. So sorry, Pete. You said the person who gets it right, or the person
who gets the furthest away.
Furthest away. Okay, furthest away. All right. I'll have to
fit. Am I going to fit in this James Ward-Prowse shirt?
Mate, it's tiny. This match-worn shirt is tiny. Seriously, he's so small, James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah,
he really is, and it still stinks.
Even more comedy gold, isn't it?
It's match-worn. I've got to have James Ward-Prowse's bodily fluids next to my skin.
Wouldn't be the first time, girl.
This ain't going to be good.
Yeah. 4 points, 15 points.
Yeah, well done, Barry Chris. It's maxed out. Yes,
I love that. He's going all in. Are you West Ham fans? Don't do well against.
Yeah, listen, you're either a glass half empty or glass half full. For me, supporting West Ham has always demanded a certain minimum level of optimism. Otherwise, where would you be?
I am typically optimistic.
13.
Gary.
Well done, Jason. 13.
Some predictions. Looking forward to playing Millwall next season.
I'll wait for Millwall next season. Always win.
Have to beat Leeds, Burnley at home. Our record at home to Newcastle is poor. Yeah. And our record is Brentford at home is also poor. Absolutely.
Yeah, but Newcastle are not well beaters at the moment, are they?
No, but they're. What's that? Pete's gone.
I think he's having broadband problems tonight.
He's had enough, hasn't he? He's had enough.
No, I think he can hardly hear us a lot of the time.
Gary will see that cloud outfit with that prediction. I've got to tell you, Gary. I mean, look, I think I'm being more realistic here, Gary, and I admire your optimism, but I think it's a little bit misplaced. In truth, I hope you're right. I really, really hope you're right, mate.
Why? You know,
because I think it's a lot of points, mate. I think that's a lot of points out of those games, and I just don't think it's going to be that easy. I can see us getting maybe more draw. I can see us drawing games more than losing games now. I definitely feel that with Nuno. I think he's going to organise the defence more, so we're not going to concede as many goals. So I can definitely see us not necessarily losing games, but I just envisage maybe, like I said, a couple of draws and 1 win.
Yeah. So Pete, tell us the truth about your broadband. You ain't got broadband. You're on dial-up. You're on 56k modem.
No, my son's playing Fortnite with all his mates, and he's absolutely training the broadband.
Oh, you need to get a special network like me. Then you can stop all that crap. You prioritise your own traffic. YouTube gets top priority in my ass.
Yeah, should do.
5 points if they're all draws isn't bad. I mean, in theory, if you look at it, draws, I mean, you're not losing games, but still, I mean, Christ, we need more than that. We do. I mean, we need more than that. Of course we do.
I do think Nuno's going to turn the home form around. I do. Absolutely do. It's been one of his strengths, no matter where he's gone, has been the home form. Wolves, Forest, wherever else he went. The home form has been very good.
When do we play Wolves, Chris? You've got the fixture list there. When do we play Wolves? Because they're bottom, aren't they, at the minute?
Let me have a butchers. Hold up.
Yeah, we're the only ones they've beaten in the cup.
Hold up.
January 3rd.
January 3rd. Okay.
3 points for every clown outfit Gary wears. Yeah, no problem. I have no problem wearing a.
Gav, that's a good shout. Gav. Yeah, I think that's fair. Would you do that, Gav?
I'd do that, Gav. Yep, I would.
3 points for every clown outfit Gary wears.
I hope I didn't hurt Vern's feelings, by the way, Gav. That's the guy who writes to deny the tickets today.
Mate, you're doing the right thing, though, mate. You're doing the right thing, and he knows that you're doing the right thing as well. You know?
In truth, he denied me first. Actually, he actually came through. I was plucking up the courage to, because I don't like letting people down, right? I was plucking up the courage to say sorry, you can't have them, and he made my day. He came on and said, "Oh, it's bad news. I can't go." I said, "Well, just as well, because I weren't going to sell them to you anyway. So thanks for your support of the protest, man." Did I say sell? I meant give.
Give, yeah.
Well,
okay. It seems as though the vast majority of people actually seem to think that we're going to accumulate more points than not, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I'm quite confident. I think a lot of people are confident in Nuno. It's not a bad thing, right? I do believe we've stumbled through no forward planning of our own. The fact that he fell out massively with Marinakis at the right time.
Yeah.
When Potter went out, and he's kind of he's the perfect choice for us, really, given the market we're shopping in.
Yeah, if he hadn't have fallen out with that governor, there's no way we'd have been paying compensation to get him.
No, and we wouldn't have been able to get him before he went to Spurs. Far too expensive, right? He was like his stock was higher, wasn't it, when he went to Spurs? He was looking at the next big thing, and they didn't really give him a chance, did they?
No, well, he got manager of the month in September, I think it was, and then he was fired within 4 weeks of getting manager of the month. They were top when he got manager of the month. It's weird, really weird circumstances.
Yeah, I had two versions of Chris pop up just then. That's a bit weird.
Well, you don't want that, mate. One version is bad enough as it is.
Yeah.
But I took positives from the Arsenal game, right? I mean, I know we lost 2-0.
Yeah,
but I thought that was a 4 easily, and I thought you're going against somebody who's the best at set pieces, and we can't defend them, and we didn't concede a set piece. One of them was a penalty, which under the new laws is a penalty because he ended up in the box, but it was out of the box. Other than that, we were in that game.
He's going to make little mistakes like that, Diouf, because he's still really learning the art of defending, and especially in the Premier League, right? It's not his massive strength at the moment, but it will be one day.
Yeah, he's one heck of a player, actually. I'm delighted we've signed him.
He really is.
He's going to just get better and better, actually. And I think if he can kind of work on his defending, then I think we've got one hell of a player, honestly. I definitely do. There's a lot of teams out there would love. I mean, he's well suited, isn't he, to the Premier League? You know, the pace, the strength, the crossing ability. He's very well suited. What's
he doing? Staubin's biker, St Albans biker, not Staubin's biker. St Albans biker. Nuno's Forest home form was poor. Was towards the end because we beat him. I don't think it was in the first, when he qualified for Europe and stuff. But I'll have to have a look back. I'll take your word for it. Wolves better was in the Championship. Yeah, well, yeah, you expect that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, look, I'll tell you what, let's switch gears slightly on this one, right? So I know we're talking about how many points we may get or may not get. I'm interested, genuinely, and people being realistic here. Okay, let's have our realistic hats on for a second, Gail. Now, our optimistic hats of us signing fucking Endrick or Ivan Toney, for instance, because that's just farcical. 500 grand a week geezer from, whatever league, Saudi league, not going to happen. Endrick, I mean, look, apparently we're the only team that's inquired about him so far because he's not getting into the Real Madrid team. But you can be sure that there'll be plenty of other teams across Europe that will do that, and he will go to one of those teams. He's not going to go in for a fucking relegation battle at West Ham, right? Rule those two players out. My question to the chat is, who do you realistically want us to sign? Bearing in mind our financial situation right now, who do you think would be a realistic players that you would like to see at West Ham? I'm interested to see what people have to say on this one. What do you think, Gal and Pete? What do you reckon? You got any ideas?
I think we. I mean, it's lazy journalism on my behalf. I have to apologise, but I wouldn't be surprised if he went for Raul Jimenez from Fulham. Now that Munoz has signed a new contract at Fulham, who I think we were linked to last season as well for 25-30 mil. I wouldn't be surprised if he went for Raul Jimenez because he had him at Wolves. He's that sort of target man. Because I don't think we'll get Wood.
Won't you?
Worsley put. I mean, if he scores a hat trick, I might.
Yeah. I think we all will. Oh my god! Yeah, he's Wood not passed his. I mean, he started the season right, didn't he, Chris Wood? He did pass. He did start this part. He did start the season quite well, but
stop him scoring against us, wasn't it?
So that's under Nuno, though, right? That was.
This is true. Yeah, this is true. I mean, yeah, and he does play well for Nuno, right? So
yeah,
I mean that's a possibility, I suppose. But they would want to keep him, though, wouldn't they? Surely. You're still laughing at the Wood comment, aren't you, Gal? I can see it written all over your face. You are got such a child.
Every time you say Wood, it makes me laugh. Go on.
Yeah. So all right. So Chris Wood, interesting one. Yeah. Well, who else? Chris Wood, Raul Jimenez. Actually, again, both players on the wrong side of 30, aren't they? Basically, right? So aging strikers, but realistic based on probably the types of players that might be interested in coming to West Ham and have also played under Nuno before as well.
Yeah.
That's up front. We need to bring in players across the team, though, don't we? I mean, defensively, we need to get in a big, strong centre half as well.
Defensive-wise, the Maguire one is still a rumour that's flying around it because he's on a free by the end of the season, isn't he? I think.
Maguire.
Yeah, you know what? That's the thing, right? So there are a lot of players going out of contract actually at the end of the season. So it wouldn't surprise me you'd see maybe some possibilities there as well. Maybe loans.
Yeah, if they can cash in and get some money.
Yeah, big wages though, when he Maguire, and he has turned us down before. Trod reckons he'd turn us down again. He probably will.
Isn't it laughable, right? How we're now saying, and I would agree with you, by the way, on this as well, Pete, that Maguire wouldn't be a bad signing for us now. But you go back a season and a half ago, whenever it was, and we were all mortified by the prospect of signing Maguire and McTominay. You know, McTominay's suddenly gone over to Italy and he's looking like the next Maradona. And we're now talking about, Maguire would be a good signing. How massively and significantly have our opinions changed on these players? Because I'm not being funny. We'd take McTominay in a fucking heartbeat right now,
Yeah,
and Maguire.
I think it's that under the microscope of Man United. I mean, we started talking about Amorim on this, that under a different cloud, he'd probably do well at somebody like us. Once you're in under that microscope of Man United, look at Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He's Hammer of the Year. They all turned on him there. They weren't interested in him at all at Man United.
He was their best player in that cup final, though.
He was against City, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But it's one of those things. He's got to be utilised properly, isn't he? But you're right. It's a fishbowl. I mean, in work terms, it's the only football club I've actually been behind the scenes at and done some work with, Man United. And I'll tell you what, it's a proper corporate environment behind there. It's you can tell it's a big deal. It just operates in a whole different way to the way we heard West Ham operated the other week. Yeah. When there's a game on, no matter where in the world, it's like a military operation with Man U behind the scenes. It's such a huge deal, that club. It really is.
Did you hear this one as well about Xerxes? I don't want Xerxes. I do not want Xerxes. This geezer couldn't have barn door, could he, at United? We don't want him. Surely he's not an option.
We tried to buy that Villa player, that who's that striker that for 50 million when he sent the fax across for 48 million. What was it called?
John Duran.
Yeah. So he put a fake bid in, Sullivan, and we ended up with Nicholas Füllkrug, a broken German. Have you ever ordered something, or have you ever gone to see something and come out with something completely different? Because I once went to buy a cat and came back with 2 St. Bernards.
You should do that.
We liked the St. Bernards, so we took them instead. We preferred them to the cat. Giant dogs.
That's so you, though, isn't it, to do something like that, to be fair, Gal? That is so you.
I'm quite instinctive. Tell me if you've ever done that. Have you ever ordered something, Chris? You're good at this. Have you ever late at night ordered something on eBay and then the following day, eBay or Amazon?
Yeah, I've ordered.
A couple of days later, something turns up and you forgot you looked at it.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I do. We were laughing about this last season, weren't we? I think I've got about. I'm trying to calculate this now. 7 or 8 TVs in my house, for instance. I don't need another TV, but you go out and I order a TV, and I'm like, oh yeah, this one's better. It's no different to the last one. So I've got, I do silly things like that. I do make some silly impulse buys sometimes. I mean, I'll tell you something, right? And my missus ain't watching this, but last night, when I was in Japan, I was eating these desserts, right? You know, like they're called shaved ice. They're really nice. Shaved ice with a little kind of like a sweetener on the top and a bit of condensed milk. Oh, it's lovely. So I thought to myself, shaved ice. I like that. I was on Amazon last night about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Look at shaved ice makers for £100. No. Like, who does that? Who does that, right? I was so close to buying it. So yes, you know what I'm like. I'm very much one for an impulse buy. You know, the other day, I someone knocking at my door and I ordered a jumper, and I don't even fucking really remember ordering it. But then I kind of, I said to Amanda, and I remember that. I was like, I do remember doing that now. But I was half asleep when I ordered it. I do stuff like that all the time. It's really bad. Yeah, really, really bad.
Yeah, when's the shaved ice maker? When's it arriving?
No, I haven't ordered it yet, Gal. But I'm
talking
thinking
about
about
Mr.
it.
Frosty from the 80s.
No. It's no, mate. Mr. Frosty. That's a fucking manual job, isn't it? You have to get behind it.
Chris don't do manual, Pete. You don't do manual.
This one is like, it does it all for you, right? So you stick in your ice, and then you push the button, and bang, it all comes out all nice and fluffy, like a cone, and then you just put your stuff on top of it. So I was thinking, I probably will get one.
Mr. Frosty's come a long way, hasn't he? Is that version 2?
It's not a slush puppy. I've got to tell you, it's not a slush puppy. If you haven't tried shaved ice, try it. It's unreal. It's not like a slush puppy, and it's not like it's nothing like that. Well, nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a slush puppy machine. Same for the summer. That'd be good. What can you do with a shaved ice then?
That's it. No, you have like a bowl of shaved ice, and then you put like a syrup over the top of it, right? And then you put like a little bit of condensed milk. It's like a really popular dessert.
But not just normal sort of ice. It's got to be flavoured ice.
That's what I just said. You put a bit of syrup on it. Like a
little, so it's just plain ice with syrup over the top.
Yeah, and then like a bit of condensed milk, mate. It's really popular out in like Asia and stuff. Yeah, it's lovely, mate.
Does it carve ice sculptures? Is it like one of those printers, one of them 3D printers, printing ice?
It doesn't do that, unfortunately. You'd expect it to, wouldn't you? Like to have shaved ice carvings, but no.
There's got to be a gadget out there. There's got to be a gadget out there now that delivers ice. You set it up, you connect it with a USB-C port.
3D print ice sculptures.
3D printer ice sculpture.
A 3D printer David Sullivan, that you can just throw and melt. You can just make it smaller.
Yeah.
Oh God. But yeah, to answer your question, mate, I order crap all the time. I do. Yeah, I've seen the Ninja one. I was all over that last night. This is something different. But
Snow cone machine, Chris. Snow cone.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. It's a little bit like that, but they're not. They haven't got quite the one I was looking for. So, yeah. What about you, Pete? You ordered anything random or anything that you that you thought you were getting, but it turned out to be the complete opposite?
I think normally it's the things like, so during COVID, I was going to do all training with my son in the back garden. So I went on there and ordered a load of the cones to go in and out of. And when they came through, they were about this big that you couldn't even see them when you put them on the grass. That's normally the way you order stuff from China and it comes through and it doesn't, it's not the right size.
They're famous for doing that on Shein and places like that, where something looks really big, but you got to check the dimensions. Otherwise, it turns up it's tiny. It's brilliant.
I do that all the time. You get the wrong sizes. Sometimes I'm like, do you know what? I'll have to get a large because I know that I am a large.
Yeah.
But then when it's a medium, I'm like, fuck, I don't actually mind sending it back because it makes me feel good about myself again.
What you're saying says you can do 3D printed meat.
That's weird.
Are you talking about what you're saying?
A lot of meat is these days, isn't it? It's all processed.
Oh, yes, processed. But you have to do that what with a normal 3D printer? Because I know there's a few things you can do with a 3D printer. Slightly, one thing.
Well, your boy does that, doesn't he?
I've got a 3D, he's got a 3D printer upstairs.
Yeah.
What's next? Gary gets his legs waxed. Won't take much wax, to be fair, Gav. Not very airy person, Is there a Brazilian version? Ooh. Right.
Sullivan had signed if there was.
Mark Pendleton, I've had a 3D printed meat at a wedding. It was horrible. I can imagine. What do they do with it then? They make shapes out of it, or is it just the fact that you can process meat with it? I don't know. Weird.
I don't know about that. But yeah, I'm still looking at the old players that people were banging on about before we went on to that question of random things that you sign up for and turn out to be. I suppose ex-girlfriends would count as that as well, Gal, surely, right? Or some bird that you pulled in a club. When you wake up the next morning, I didn't sign up for this.
or ex-West Ham footballers and their Claire's left because it's gone half eight. Maybe.
Yeah. We can say what we want now, Gal. We can do it. Doesn't matter. She's gone. She's gone. Can we print new owners? Yes, please. Absolutely. Get a couple of cardboard cutouts and stick them up there to do a better job.
That is a great comment.
Yeah.
Can we 3D print a new sticker? Badge, you mean? Surely.
Yeah, badge.
I'll tell you what, it's one of those things. He's got that 3D printer. He impulse buys and he needed it. He really needed it. So he bought it because he's going to work. He buys his own stuff. And it must have been used about 5 times. Had it about a year. I'm struggling to think of something to print with it. I need ideas.
Oh yeah, ideas in the chat. Yeah. So how advanced is this thing? Like, so is it really detailed?
It's about that wide, about that big. It's a normal size 3D printer. It's a very hard, it's a tough thing. It's an not industrial thing, but one of the best home ones you can get. It was about
Plastic,
900 grand or something. No, it's made out of metal, but it prints in plastic.
No, yeah, that's what I'm not an idiot, Gal. What are you treating me for? I'm just saying it's in plastic, right? It prints out. Yeah, okay, all right. I mean, I could think of plenty of things you could use. You could use
3D. Make 3D printed Bobby Moore podcast phone cases. Could do. Be uniquely disappointing.
Soon to be sold on the Bobby Moore stand.
Yeah, it's a merch site. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Brady has a new face 5D printed. I tell you what. Yeah, I'll have a look at the last thumbnail without makeup. All right. 40 mil bracket. Right. Let's end. Yeah. West Ham badges.
Yeah, well, you know what we were talking about the other day was the cards, right?
Oh, that'd be a good idea.
About 60. Do you reckon your machine could cope with 62,000 of those, Gal? Might be up for a few weeks doing that, mightn't you?
Take about 20 minutes for one. What do you reckon?
Better get on it, mate. Better get on it.
That's the thing. They're so slow. They're depressing. One layer at a time, until it eventually gets there.
Printy and Dowie to scare the kids out of wings. Bit harsh. Claire wouldn't like that.
Print a little plastic Ian Dowie for Claire.
Yeah.
For Christmas. She's coming over for the Arsenal game, isn't she?
You're going there again with Dowie comments, yeah?
I'm not going
Dowie and Claire. Well, you did kind of. For Claire, you said specifically.
Stadium. Shall I model what the London Stadium could look like if they did some work to it?
Yeah. Yeah, do that. Yeah, do that. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, do you know, actually, that message you sent to me, was it yesterday or the day before? I can't remember now, around what you felt.
What you could do with it.
Yeah. I mean, you're actually bang on with some of that stuff, actually. You were.
Listen to this, audience. This is my idea of what you can do with the London Stadium. Could be crap, right? Now, at the moment, we've got a problem in the lower tier because we've got temporary seats scaffolded above the permanent seats, which are for the athletics, right? And then below them, you've got an athletics track, obviously. Now, if you take out that lower tier of, say you did a deal with the UK Athletics, bung them a couple of million to piss off and not have one athletics event a year. I don't think there are any other regular obligations that stadium's got other than to be in athletics mode. You know, pass Sebco a little donation. I'm sure he'd go away as well, because you got to say his idea of having an athletics legacy was a fucking stupid one. He must even see that now. It's ruined the football club because of his stupid idea. So anyway, as a Chelsea supporter, you'd probably like that. Anyway, back to the plan. So what you do is you bin all those fucking stupid temporary seats, right? All the scaffolding. You tear out the lower tier of seats. So all you're left with is the upper tier, right? The main reason we've got those gaps between the lower and the upper tier is because you've got one set of seats on top of the other, right? And it can't go all the way, so you've got to bridge them across. Otherwise, if you took it all the way to the back of there, it would overlap the seats above, which is why they have to do that. So what you could do is you could actually just rebuild the lower tier, maybe even leave the original seats where they are if you want to do it cheap. No, you couldn't. You'd have to have a shallow rake all the way down from the top of the permanent seats all the way down to quite close to the pitch, all the way around, right? Maybe a little bit of distance around I was going to say outside, near the dugouts, right? And then what you do is, because other than that, the biggest problem in that stadium is acoustics. The sound just gets lost. It fucks off out the ground. So you could solve that. Let's join them all up. All those sides, join them all up, all the way around. So you got a round joined up bowl at the bottom and a round joined up bowl at the top. Then what you got to do is stop the noise escaping. If you're going to take the seats closer to pitch, they've got to be covered by a roof. So you use some lightweight, hard-wearing industrial material, quite cheap, I'd imagine, to create that additional bit of roof. And that would also help, I would imagine, you need an acoustics expert to make sure that roof is designed properly. Make sure there's nothing escaping. Then what I would do is I would block off the back row of 10 seats in the upper tier permanently. I'd rip them out and I'd put a wall with sound reflecting material floor to ceiling at the back there and totally lose that back 10 rows to naturally bring the whole stadium in. Then you've got a much more intimate stadium inside the massive shell. What do you reckon?
I'm in. I'm 100% in. I think it's a good idea. It's a good idea, but
no beer garden, no beer garden. They have to shut down.
On that basis alone, I'm against it. I want to keep that beer garden clearly because I'm a massive fan of that massive beer garden that takes me 5 minutes to walk past every game. But no, I love the idea of it. It all comes down to what is the art of possible, what we can do. But yeah, this is the thing, because realistically, knocking that ground down is not going to happen, right? We're going to knock it down. But we talk about the team, like iterative improvements on the team. If you could see iterative improvements with the actual stadium, so you can see they're actually trying to do something on, say, one side of the, one part of the stadium, then another part of the stadium, and you could see there's a plan over 5-10 years or whatever it's going to be. You'd kind of buy into that a little bit, because that we're basically screwed, right? We've only got we ain't got many other options. But I do like the idea of doing that, and I do think that, firstly, we don't have an atmosphere at London Stadium. But for whatever we do have, we do need to try and kind of enclose it and capture it into that stadium, into that bowl a little bit more. So if that would do that, then yeah, absolutely, because that's something that Karen Brady promised us. Those top rows of seats are fucking awful anyway. I mean, I genuinely think you need binoculars.
They're too far away.
Yeah, I've never sat that far up. I've never sat that far up. But the way I look at it is, from my seat where I sit, and I'm like row 2 in the Bobby Moore lower, I look up to see the size of the people up in the upper tiers at the back. I can barely see them. So I'm thinking, if I can barely see them, what the hell can you see on that pitch? It must be like watching ants running around, on a little bit of green bit of grass. So I don't even see this. They're too far away. They're too far away. I mean, I would genuinely be surprised if there's people that sit up there that say, I love sitting up here. Great view. Yeah. I don't know anyone, to be fair, that sits up that far up.
The one downside is, and this is that article that forget his name, Jonathan Liu said, is that the rake of the seats is so shallow, it's built for athletics rather than football. And that's true. And that's a bit of a problem. So really the only way you could address that would be to try and increase the rake of the lower tier, which means you would have to lose some seats off of the upper tier.
The thing is, like, the actual seats, they're such poor quality as well, though, aren't they? I mean, really.
Well, not honestly, where I am. I've got a lovely, comfy seat. That's cushion.
Yeah, so with a fucking recliner and a fucking heated massage chair and all that bollocks. Yeah, but like we're us kind of, bottom feeders, where we're me and Pete sit. Like, they are really shit seats. Like, they wobble. They fucking wobble, right? I mean, I'm sure they're just so
it should be safe standing all the way around, because I don't mind standing if I've got something to lean on. And the safe standing seats, that's what's great about them, right? You got somewhere to lean on. I really love that.
Yeah, no, but they are such poor quality. And I remember Karen Brady saying, these are going to be high spec and all this. They are not high spec. Seriously, you can go off fucking Amazon and buy one of those chairs for about £5. They are really, really poor quality, low spec chairs. And you can see the way they're bolted into the fucking stadium, mate. You could unscrew one of those in about 2 seconds. They're just shit. They're crap.
As Andy Payne of Hammers United said on a fabulous podcast he did the other day, really good. It's an audio podcast. I'll post the link. It's really worth a listen, because it's such a relaxed, it's like a German guy, he's a West Ham fan, interviewing him in a really relaxed fashion. It's done in a kind of tongue-in-cheek way. No anger, it's just done in a tongue-in-cheek way, and it's factual. And what he said was, if you rented a house, so for instance, my mum and dad used to live in council houses, right? Well, it was their house as far as they're concerned. They did something to it, they improved it, they painted it, they decorated it, they put this on, they put that on. That's what you do with a place that you're going to live at for a long time. And why wouldn't, if your club's going to be playing at that stadium for the next 90 years, 90 years, we'll all be dead. Why?
It'll fall down, Gal. I mean, I'm sorry, look at the quality of it. It ain't going to last fucking 90 years. So improvements and adjustments will have to be made anyway.
Well, this is the thing, Trudge. This is where the club, if they wanted to, they could pay for those improvements. But the LLDC won't do it,
wouldn't it? It still have to be retractable for the.
No. You don't do it until there's an agreement where either someone from West Ham's met with UK Athletics and paid them off and come to a settlement, so they can set up elsewhere or whatever else. It's cost several million, I would imagine, but it's worth doing, because you get them off of. You remove the problem. Yeah. That is literally the only obligation.
Purple carpet. As long as they don't lose that purple carpet.
I know. Well,
they're putting it outside as well now. Don't forget, it's outside as well. The off-cuttings.
Chris, can you imagine how much spare carpet they had left over for new beer gardens outside? if we could bring the seating closer to the pitch. It'd be fucking amazing.
Mate, it would go all the way to Westfield Shopping Centre.
Yeah,
seriously. There would be, honestly. I'll tell you what I do like, though, and I saw this, it might have been on Twitter or something like I saw, or TikTok or something, where someone kind of put up a mock-up design of what they'd like the stadium to look like. And just having claret seats in itself, right? Claret seats would make such a big difference. Like, it really, really would. It's the one thing that I really hated about the London Stadium from the offset when we first moved there. Was how all of those kind of patterns and this, that, and the other from the actual Legacy Olympics are still there. It looks so shit. It's almost like it was never. It's so fucking dated, mate. Like, the only way I can describe it. Did you ever see that episode of Only Fools and Horses where Del Boy is trying to sell a second-hand motor, and he just basically he kind of basically mocks it up as if it's obviously worth a lot more than it is. That's what we've done. We've done nothing to that fucking stadium.
Was that the Capri Gear?
No. That was not the Capri Gear. That was when Boise sold it to Del Boy. It was one of the earlier episodes when he picked up some. I can't remember what fucking car it was. It was a little convertible, and it was completely battered. And then some poor victim comes along and says, "Oh yeah, he's really interested in the car." And he goes, "Yeah, one lady owner happened to be a vicar. Oh look, they've only gone and left the Bible in the club compartment here, right?" The way he'd done this motor up was if
brilliant.
That's what we've been done. We've been sold a pup with this stadium, right? They've not done anything that they promised they'd do, as we know. But you just look around it, and there's all that legacy shit from the Olympics. I don't want to fucking see that crap. Don't want to see it. It looks shit.
Thank you, God is dead. Interesting name. Thoughts on Acid, Simon Jordan, the acid that Simon Jordan. I was going to come to this anyway, because it's a fine way to end the show, and that is twat. He really hit on Dan Lawless there. I mean, he was like a dog with a bone. He's really pleased with himself, all grinning, because and then he threw out this bullshit number of 3 billion. It's nonsense, right? Dan went on there to talk about football. He clearly not covered his covered all his facts on how much it costs for a stadium and all that. It's fine. You can't cover everything. So, but the fact is, it don't cost 3 billion for a stadium. For a stadium build, which was including the destroying of old White Hart Lane and revamping that stadium, was £1 billion. Right, that's Tottenham in the middle of London, not too long ago. And then Everton, it cost 800 quid, including draining a dock. 800 million. 800 million, not 800 quid, 800 million for draining. It would have been cheap. For draining a dock and doing all of that, engineering work that needed doing. Not an easy thing to do. That I've watched them.
And might I add, we don't expect, right? We do not expect to get a stadium that has to hold 62,500 fans, right? We don't
50
need that.
to 55 is fine for
us. For sure. Because I was speaking to Danny about this earlier, right? It'd be interesting to know exactly how many West Ham supporters are in and amongst that so-called 60. Not that we actually have 60-odd thousand capacity anyway, but how many West Ham fans there are there? Because we could whittle that down pretty quickly, right? Honestly,
we're a brilliantly supported team. One of the best supported teams in the country, and we would be, with success, close to the top best supported team in the country. There's a few giants like Man United and Liverpool who have got global audiences that you'll never touch, right? But Man City have not got a bigger fan base than us, nor have Chelsea. I don't reckon Tottenham have as well either. I think Arsenal are right up there. I only realised this when I was in Germany and how many bloody Arsenal fans there were watching a game against. There was no West Ham fans. It was just Arsenal fans in Germany. So I'll give them a little pass at the moment. But that's based on success. If Arsenal would have had the success that we've had or lack thereof, they wouldn't be playing at the Emirates and there wouldn't be 60,000 in there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you could say the same for many, many clubs in the Premier League.
Yeah,
you really could do.
But
they're nowhere near as followed as we are, in my opinion.
But I would rather have the way we are at the moment, unless we are going to be infinitely successful, which is never going to happen in our lifetimes. I'd rather have 50,000.
Where's the optimism gone, Gal? Fucking hell, mate.
No, I would rather have 50,000 proper West Ham fans in there who want to go and see the game than 66,000 with 16,000 of them being fucking tourists. Nothing wrong with, honestly, I keep having to go to tourists. I shouldn't. But, you know what I mean? I think there's a place for tourists. And I think the way Fulham do it with a neutral side, and yeah, I know some people who are genuine football fans. I had some Italians in front of me last season who wanted to experience the Bobby Moore stand and everything else. Sorry to say it was the wrong Bobby Moore stand, but it was they did it for the right reasons, and I think that's where I would want to go if I went to a game abroad. I'd want to go into the atmospheric bit, wouldn't you?
100%. Yeah, I would do. And I'm with you on this. I mean, nothing against tourists. I mean, I've been to games in other countries before myself, so I'd be a bit of a hypocrite if I said that. But it's a bit much at West Ham at the moment at London Stadium. It is, you know, you only have to kind of look, I don't know, within a distance of 2 to 3 meters, and you know there'll be a few around you every single game that you go to. It's too much. It is too much.
Yeah, no,
that was part of a poor relocation again, though, wasn't it? They should have, as part of that, they should have said, "Are you willing to stand? Are you vocal? And let's create that style of the stand." And they didn't do that.
It's just one last thing, because it's shallow. This is why I said you need some scientists working there. You need some acoustics experts who understand, like I don't, how sound travels and how we can get it so that sound travels around that crowd. Now, however that is, whether that's, you know, sound reflective material strategically placed in certain parts in the ceiling, whatever, there are tricks that you can play if you study it properly. Sure. You don't just put a load of people in there and hope it sounds good, because it sounds shit.
Well, I'll tell you, like when I went up to Everton the other week, even though their fans, and by their own admissions, it wasn't great, but at the beginning of that game, it actually felt electric, because that stadium is built to basically kind of contain that atmosphere. You could feel it. And I think when they get up and running, and, you know, the fans kind of find their feet, and, you know, I suppose they start building an atmosphere there, it will be one heck of a stadium to play. It'd be a very difficult stadium to play at. It'd be very, very intimidating once they can build that atmosphere up. So, yes, it can be done. It's been done at the Hill Dickinson, or the Dick Stadium, what I call it. It's been done over there. It could be done, mate. I'm sure David Sullivan's an expert with acoustics, you know, and it seems to be an expert at everything else, isn't he? He could be an acoustics expert, couldn't he?
Not more people in there, you get more noise, didn't you? Yeah. Give me some clapsticks. Do you remember that? Clapsticks.
Oh, fuck it, mate. Honestly, there's some of the shit they've come up with over the years is just almost laughable.
It's made me sick. There's one warning about, if you do not back this protest, right? This is one thing where I'm just going to get very, very serious for a minute. After this, go on Twitter, look up Birmingham City's new 3 billion development and their beautiful ground that they're going to move into. Look at Luton Town's new magnificent ground that they're moving into. We very soon are going to be overtaken and become second-class citizens as these teams mature and climb. These are teams that used to be top-flight teams. If they come up, we'll be going down. We need to do something about it, and this is our one and only chance to do something about it. So for fuck's sake, let's do something about it. Whether you believe it's possible or not, believe me, it is possible. So get behind it. Don't make excuses. Don't ever go at people, or criticize them, or say nothing's going to happen, or it's the same as the last protest. It's so far removed from the last protest. It's run by professionals who don't take any money from it, right? Nothing. It's voluntary. But they're very good people, and good, high-quality people as well, who know what they're doing. So just please get behind the protest.
And it's not just about and it's not just about the boycott of Brentford, by the way, as we all know, right? There's loads more things that are going to be happening, and I don't know how you couldn't be behind it. I don't understand, and particularly the protest, the Burnley protest, the Newcastle sittings, things like that. I don't understand why you wouldn't be behind getting loads of clowns in gear. You know, I'm all for that. I'm all for the clowns. I am. Maybe I'm going to buy a clown outfit on Amazon tonight. That'll be my impulse buy this evening. Maybe that's what
Release the Clowns.
Yeah.
I think Phil Whelans once had a podcast called Release the Clowns. I think he did. Right. So
clowns in his club, mate, sadly.
I know. Good. I missed this online today about mega mansions in London being unsellable. They focused on Sullivan's house, which he spent a bloody fortune on. Sorry, Jack or Dave, the two very, very clever businessmen who are his sons, spent a fucking arm and a leg to turn this really nice house into some gaudy, you know, Playboy style pad, and it's so tacky they can't sell it.
Have you seen? I've seen his gaff, and it makes me laugh. Right? I mean, not being funny, the geezer's a fucking midget. He needs a Wendy house, and that'll be big enough for him, right? He doesn't need all of that stuff. It's ludicrous.
Don't be heightist, Chris.
Being heightist, mate. I'm just saying it as it is. All right. I'm just saying he doesn't need that. He don't need it.
Yeah. Right, so I think we keep it there. Any final words, Pete?
Nothing from me. Just that we're going to win. We're going to win on Monday.
We are going to win.
We ain't done a prediction on that, have we?
No. Yeah. We've got a show Saturday. We talk about the game then, and hopefully we'll have some more news to share and everything else. But yeah, so just to recount, you've got the boycott. Then you've got Black Balloons at Leeds. Then you've got Newcastle is a sit-in, a nice afternoon sit-in. So bring a coat. We don't know how long. Can't help your cat. And finally, and this is not finally, it's just all they've planned up to. In fact, they've planned 2 more, but I can't say anything about that. It's going to be every home game. There's going to be some sort of event, right? But it won't be another boycott, right? So they're all taking different shapes. The one against Burnley is the big, fun one that you're going to want to be at and say you were at it, right? So please make plans for that. Even if it's not your sort of thing, very friendly affair. Everyone will love you for being there. So yeah,
it's
come on and join.
It's exciting. It's honestly, I know brilliant. Obviously certain bits and bobs, and it does sound really good. And I think
it sounds amazing. It sounds if executed properly, this is going to be amazing. I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Really will.
And the amount of attention this will get as well will be phenomenal. So yeah,
Media City, Media Central. Right. Pete. Yeah. So Pete, as you know, this is just in moonlighting over here. It's becoming a regular moonlighting event, but his primary task is Stop Hammer Time, the original West Ham audio podcast, which I think it came out 2 years before the Nigel and Sean one, didn't it?
17. I think they've been going 17 seasons now.
Yeah, it was when podcasts were not a thing, right?
Yeah.
They're groundbreaking. I would say it's not too difficult a word to say. Groundbreaking. So yeah, subscribe.
Yeah, thanks. That's a really nice comment there. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I love it. I've been on there a few times. I argued with Simon and stuff. So you know, that's it. We're done. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks for having me on again.
Great. And thanks to everybody in the chat. Thanks to everybody who's watching at home. Thanks to Claire, who's not here at the moment, but she'll appreciate the Endow comments. See you soon. Kia Manewans.